This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Am I? There I am. Hi, everybody. It is the After Party live on a Travel Tuesday, and I know kind of a sad situation on the Mark Thompson show, so talked a bit after the show, and they're still waiting to see how the cat Frenchie is holding up and what's going to happen with that. So if I get any news, I'll let you know about what happens there. But hearts go out to Mark. I know his cats, he's got these beloved cats, and he and Courtney just are, those are their kids, and they love them so much. So it's hard to see him go through something like that, really. Thank you for being here, and thank you for all the ways that you support this show, that you would take the time and resources and time to email me, but also just to spend this time, this nearly an hour with me after the Mark Thompson show really means a lot. So I just want to tell you that I appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who contributes to this show. We've got the PayPal up underneath the show description and in the About tab here on YouTube. And thank you to Wes, who comes in today with another $5. So thank you to Wes, John R, Janet R, Murphy H or Murphy R, and Wes again from yesterday. Those are the PayPal payments that came through. So thank you guys all through the overnight, throwing those monthly recurring payments down. Just really appreciate it. And thank you to Wes, who's constantly supporting us and backing things up here on the After Party. All right, let's get into it. By the way, it is Travel Tuesday, and we will go to an island. We've been visiting islands yesterday, and I'll tell you it's because I found this list of the top 25 islands to visit. We've been to a lot of them already. Like Maui is on there, Bali is on there, a lot of popular islands that people have been to, but there's a few that are kind of off the beaten path. So we're going to island number 16, Zanzibar. Right? What's on Zanzibar? Are you curious? I'm curious. Why is it 16th on the list? We'll find out today. But I found this story and wanted to share it with you. It is about dolphins and whales spotted together in nature multiple times having play dates. It's not uncommon to see dolphins and whales hanging out together in the ocean. Why are they spending time together? Different species? What are they doing? What's the reason? Fascinating. They have a video showing this humpback at the surface taking a breath and then diving to the sea floor, and a dolphin follows along, in some cases getting super close to the whale. The scientists say when you're out on the water, you often see whales and dolphins interacting. And as a scientist, you can't help but wonder why. This written by Olivia Crawley. She's a grad student at the Griffith University in Australia. So she and a marine biologist named Olaf Meinecke analyzed hundreds of videos and photographs to see how baleen whales and dolphins interact. And what they found is it's a mutual activity, these play dates between the whales and the dolphins. They published their findings in the journal Discover Animals on August 12th. That's today. Happy birthday to my friend Dorothy, by the way. They say they were particularly interested in documenting whales' reactions and responses toward dolphins because commonly dolphins are described as harassing and annoying the whales. So they documented 425 baleen whales from 6 different species. Humpback whales, they dominated the play at 68% of observations. Gray whales and fin whales. About 1,500 dolphins were observed, mostly bottlenose. They were documented the most at 51%, followed by the common dolphin and the Pacific white-sided dolphin. The age and relative position of the observed dolphin in relation to the whale's main body were noted. 3 main parts of a whale: the rostrum or the beak at the front, the flank or side where its pectoral fins are, and its fluke, the tail at the back. The videos taken with a suction camera tag on humpback whales showed bottlenose dolphins following the whales. The dolphins followed along the surface, but also toward the ocean floor. And once at the bottom, they continued to engage in close approaches with whales, including possible touching and social play. How cool is that? They just want to hang out together. Is it because they enjoy each other's time and company? Or is there some mutually beneficial other thing that's happening here? I have a video to show you. This is the video you can see here of the whale who rises. You see the dolphin right next to it. The whale rises to the surface, dolphin's right alongside. Whale dives all the way down to the ocean floor. Don't know how deep it is in this area, but you can see the whale going all the way down to the floor. And when he gets to the bottom, you can see again, and there's other whales in this picture as well. And then you see the dolphins emerging from the ocean floor. They were following right along. They just want to play. Super cool. There it is again. There's a dolphin jumping and leaping and diving down to the ocean floor with this whale. Yeah, kind of fun. So why? What is the situation? Why are they doing this? The research is still ongoing in this case, but it's really fascinating to watch, to see that this is happening. The researchers are saying they need to they need to find out more about why this is happening, and we'll be researching this more. But all different species of these baleen whales involved. They say while social play is cooperative and reciprocal, there's also some one-sided play going on here. In the case of teasing or harassment, which the dolphins were thought to have been doing during feeding events, the behavioral studies of marine mammals like these provide insight into their complex social structures, play being a crucial role in enhancing our understanding of their interactions among the marine species. The researchers say in 25% of these situations, interactions are defined as mutual. For humpback whales, 1/3 of the observed events with dolphins appeared to be positive, that the humpback whales were rolling from side to side, undertaking belly presentation. These are behaviors that researchers say are linked with friendly socializing, in some cases courtship as well. The whale species, depending on which species was involved, responded differently to the dolphin behavior. Humpbacks moved their pectoral fin toward the dolphins 172 times. Gray whales were rolling, and southern right whales displayed pectoral slaps where they hit the water with their fins. Also, they say most of these interactions didn't show any types of avoidance behaviors. It wasn't like the whales were trying to get away or the dolphins were trying to get away. So, yeah, they're hoping this study can serve as a foundation for future studies as they work to figure out what in the world is going on. How about this? It's the world's oldest chicken. It looks like quite a large chicken. This chicken is from Texas, and it has been named the world's oldest at the age of 14. This pet chicken, named Pearl, was hatched in an incubator March 13th of 2011, is now 14 years and 69 days old, and has been officially named the oldest chicken in the world by Guinness World Records. So 14 years, 69 days old. Guinness World Records confirming Pearl's age, and it gives her the title World's Oldest Living Chickens. She's an Easter egg hen, and her caretaker, says that she's defied all the odds because most hens like this live 5 to 8 years. She's got limited mobility now. She's an old lady. She spends most of her time in the family's laundry room, but she's welcome to come out into the living room because she likes to watch TV when she hears that it's on. She likes the family's elderly cat and new kitten, so she fits in well. They say she doesn't mind the other animals, and the kitten sometimes just sits with her and watches TV. They do say Pearl's egg production has slowed, but she did lay one right after they found out she was an official Guinness World Record holder. The previous world's oldest living chicken was from Illinois, and it was named Peanut, and it died at the age of 21 years, 238 days old. That's an old chicken, 21-year-old chicken, almost 22-year-old chicken. That's crazy. Speaking of animals, I have a video for you. This is a fisherman, an angler, who somehow managed to hook an alligator in a lake in Pennsylvania, in Bristol Township. This alligator was spotted swimming in the a lake area, Magnolia Lake. So the police were made aware of this. They called out to the Fish and Game Commission in the area, who apparently were made aware, and they asked people to use caution in the lake until it was safe. And they posted pictures of this alligator in a lake in Pennsylvania. And here's what it looked like. Here he is. You can see right there. I don't know if I can make it bigger. You see, there he is, just popping out right there. Yep. Not a lake you want to hang out in, but you wouldn't really think that in Pennsylvania, like this would be the problem. Here's another video they posted. And there they are trying to capture him. Doesn't look like he wants to be captured. No. So it turns out that an angler did have success hooking this 4-foot-long alligator in a Pennsylvania lake. This alligator was spotted swimming, captured by a Florida sanctuary operator who happened to be in town when this was all going down. Ricky Sanchez was fishing from his kayak in Bucks County, Magnolia Lake, when he unexpectedly hooked this gator. He said, I hooked onto something, brought it closer, and I was like, oh no, that's a gator. That's definitely a gator. That cannot be here. His video you're seeing now shows the moment the gator broke the fishing line and fled. It was posted to social media by the Bristol Township Police Department, who then again notified the Wildlife Game Commission, who are said to be addressing the situation. There is another man who runs Jupiter Alligator and Wildlife Sanctuary in Florida, who was visiting at the time, went out to investigate and was able to wrangle this 4-foot reptile, secure it, put it in his car. Park rangers then cared for the gator overnight before they released it back to this man, who said he was taking it to his sanctuary. Well, it will have a new permanent home and it will be okay. They think it's another one of these cases where someone had an alligator as a pet and it started to get too big, and then they released it into a lake, too big for the owner to handle. And so what are you going to do? Call the, SPCA and say, come get my gator, or dump it in the lake where you won't get in trouble. The sanctuary fellow says this animal is definitely not a pet. He said, I have hundreds of these animals and I would never consider any alligator a pet. These are not animals that you keep as pets. So, true. We'll move from real animals now to fake animals, because I don't know if you happen to see this. The folks, they do this every year. Folks in Chicago have this Ducky Derby. And this year, they managed to dump 82,000 rubber ducks into the Chicago River. Yeah. I worry about pollution. I know they say they catch them all, collect them all at the end. But here is a video of them dumping rubber ducks into the Chicago River.
Slow down, the duck.
Yeah, I'll turn off the sound. But there you can see, look at them all, pouring them all. And then they spread out, and there they go. You got to catch them all. 82,000 rubber ducks. And it does look like they have a boom there so they can keep them contained to a certain area. The event calls on spectators to kick in $10, adopt a duck for $10. Then they dump the ducks into a river for a floating race to win their adopters prizes, including a Chevy Trailblazer, a $250,000 cash contribution, a W Club Chicago club tickets. They said more than 82,000 rubber ducks participated in this year's Derby, and it raised $600,000 for the Special Olympics in Illinois. Look at it all. Wow, that's a lot of rubber ducks. 82,000 rubber ducks. Is that wild? That's wild to me. Yeah. I don't know, you guys, about that. It's something that sits wrong with me. They say that the event they held included live music, and they had food trucks, and they had photo opportunities and games, and that each donation made for a rubber duck supports the Special Olympics Illinois programs, creating opportunities for growth and personal development and connection through sports, health, and leadership programs for people that have intellectual disabilities. They say, collect every single rubber duck from the river, and they store them, and then they trot them out, and they use them again next year. So 82,000 rubber ducks. That's wild. We'll move on next to this drug, which can turn your blood into poison to mosquitoes. I wonder what else it does to your blood, though. Turns out it's a medication. It's made from bottle brush, which is pictured here. It's called nitisinone. And they figured out when they created this drug, it's a prescription drug already used to treat a rare genetic disease in humans, that it makes your blood poisonous to insecticide-resistant malaria-carrying mosquitoes. So again, even the mosquitoes that are resistant to other types of things, pesticides, are killed when they drink blood with someone who has taken this medication. The research published in Parasites and Vectors publication, they found that this drug, nitisinone, can kill mosquitoes that simply land on a surface sprayed with this chemical. They're hopeful that the finding of this could open up new avenues to stop the spread of diseases like malaria and dengue fever, especially because more mosquito populations are evolving to become resistant to traditional methods of prevention. Now, whether people are going to willingly take this medication to serve as blood bait, we don't know. What they do know is this medicine, nitisinone, has a novel mode of action distinct from current insecticides, specifically targeting blood digestion processes. It's a pharmaceutical drug derived from a toxin naturally found in the Australian bottlebrush plant, pictured here. It was initially intended for use as an herbicide because this drug targets non-essential amino acids called tyrosine. It plays a role in producing and regulating hormones. Research discovered that this was also effective in treating tyrosinemia type 1 and alkaptonuria. They're two genetic disorders that keep human bodies from metabolizing tyrosine. So the FDA approves this drug in 2002 to treat those conditions. But this same process that helps humans metabolize tyrosine acts as an amino acid sabotage to mosquitoes. And they say they've observed mosquitoes feeding on the blood of humans taking this drug died, the mosquitoes did, within several hours of their meal. The patients of these two diseases usually take the drug in high doses. And the researchers found the toxic effect on mosquitoes happens even when the drug is taken in substantially lower amounts. This poisoning process for mosquitoes blocks an enzyme that mosquitoes need to process proteins and amino acids in their blood. It disrupts their blood meal digestion, it clogs up their digestive system. So, the drug takes mosquitoes' ability to convert protein from human blood and it turns it against them. Ha ha, take that, mosquitoes. They think the same poisoning process, though, for them could work without having to administer this drug to humans just to get it to work. Because, again, they treated surfaces with nitisinone and they found that before and after the insects fed on a blood sample, the mosquitoes absorbed the nitisinone through their feet just by landing on this surface. And over several hours, it had the same poisoning effect on the mosquitoes that it did as those mosquitoes that drank the blood. In every case, exposure to nitisinone caused paralysis. All of the affected mosquitoes darkened in color, and researchers say they are confident the process works, but they aren't sure exactly why it works. It's unclear how it's absorbed through the mosquito's feet and why other similar drugs they tried didn't produce the same deadly results. So, they say it's important to think outside the box here. Maybe you found a new way to kill mosquitoes. I'm kind of torn on this because I hate mosquitoes and they always bite me. Like if there's a mosquito anywhere nearby, I'm the one that gets munched on. But I know mosquitoes are also a food for bats and other creatures. So, we can't try to kill them all off, right? But we do need to kill them off in areas where they're spreading disease. So, yeah, some new discoveries with that. I have more video to show you. Check this out. I'll take the bottle brush off. Sorry, I took myself off instead. There it is. This is incredible video of a lightning strike that zaps a power pole. And I know that, you might think, well, that happens all the time, right? But it's not always caught on video like this. Check this out. This police department dash cam reported this lightning strike on this utility pole, and it is high drama. Hold on, I have to thank you for bearing with me. I have a lot of videos I wanted to show you today, and it's not always easy to bring one up after another. Not as easy as pictures. Here's what it looked like. So this officer driving along, and check this out. Lightning strike, fires, explosions, smoke, sparks. Crazy. Let's watch it again. Wow. I'll put that on hold. Well, let me put it on hold when it sparks. See if I can get it exactly. That's pretty good. So this is what happened in South Carolina, Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, when the lightning strike struck the utility pole, and the officer's dash cam recorded it all. An explosion, a power outage, no one hurt. The small fire quickly put out. The energy workers in the area say they were quickly able to restore power, remove downed wires from this incident. No one hurt as a result of this lightning strike that happened just a day or so ago, but very dramatic footage. Should we watch it one more time? Let's do it. Wow. I don't see that very often. Mostly you hear it and you don't get to see it, right? Yeah. Can we talk before we go to Zanzibar? Can we talk about I know the word is conch, but I always say conch shell. I think most people say conch shell, but it's conch, a conch shell. This is research that suggests blowing into a conch shell is a great treatment for sleep apnea. Yes. If you want to ease your sleep apnea, get a better night's sleep, there's a new pilot clinical trial that says blow through a conch shell. Regularly blowing through this shell for 6 months significantly improves sleep among a small group of people with sleep apnea, that patients blowing on the shell slept better, felt more alert during the day, had fewer breathing interruptions at night as well. They say that shell blowing might prove a reasonable alternative to using the CPAP machine, in which the machine kind of blows oxygen into your airway to keep your airway open while sleeping. That is the gold standard for sleep apnea treatment, but a lot of people say it's noisy and it's uncomfortable. So, this shell blowing is a simple, low cost breathing technique that could help improve sleep and reduce symptoms without the need for machines or medication. This shell blowing has been a part of many different cultures for a long time. And one doctor says in her clinical practice, several patients reported feeling more rested and experiencing fewer symptoms after regularly practicing traditional yogic breathing exercise involving exhaling through a conch shell. And so, based on that, this doctor and some colleagues designed a small clinical trial to see if that might help people in a wider range. And they say that it might actually help by exercising the muscles of the airway, because blowing into one of these shells is quite distinctive. You have to breathe very, very deeply and then blow very forcefully through tightly pursed lips. And that creates strong vibrations and airflow resistance, which then strengthens the muscles of the upper airway, including the throat and soft palate, which are areas that sometimes collapse during sleep in people with obstructive sleep apnea. They also say this shell's unique spiraling structure could contribute to specific acoustic and mechanical effects that stimulate and tone those muscles. Small study, though, 30 people that had moderate sleep apnea. They assigned 16 of them to blow through the shell. The other 14 were taught a deep breathing exercise. All of them were encouraged to practice either the shell blowing or the deep breathing for a minimum of 15 minutes every day. And after 6 months, the people that had the shells were 34% less sleepy during the daytime than those who practiced the breathing. They also reported better sleep. So they admit this is a small study, but they're planning a larger trial involving several hospitals. And they say the next phase will allow them to validate and expand on the findings in a broader, more diverse population to see how this blowing into a shell performs over longer periods of time. I have a conch shell used at my wedding. Maybe we should start blowing into it. I don't know. All right, it is time for Travel Tuesday. Off we go. Everyone get ready. Here we are. Buckle in. We are going to Zanzibar. Look at the color of that water. How beautiful. This is not a country, but it is considered a semi-autonomous region of Tanzania. It is politically part of Tanzania. It is also not just one island, but the largest of the chain of the Zanzibar Islands. It has several islands. The four main are Unguja Island, which is Zanzibar, Pemba Island, Latham Island, and Mafia Island as well. Idyllic sand beaches, clear waters, great snorkeling. Also, a really interesting history lesson for people as well. This place served in the slave trade, so there's a lot to learn here. There's a UNESCO honored stone town that showcases the collection of African, Indian, Arabic, and European cultures through the architecture, through the cuisine, through the markets here as well. So I was immediately interested in what is going on in Zanzibar. So let's take a look at some of the coolest things to do. And they say first on the list is swimming in this water, right around this amazing tree growing out in the middle of it. How beautiful is that? Supposed to be one of the most amazing things to do. Taking a dip in this water, one of the best things to do in Zanzibar. One of the other best things to do is to take a trip to the Jozani Forest. and not something you necessarily think about when you're headed to an island, but that's what makes this place unique. So here it is. You can see little guys like that monkey. This is Jozani Forest. It is one of the most popular places to visit in Zanzibar. It is the last sanctuary in the world where you can see the Zanzibar red colobus monkey. It's on the eastern part of the island, one of the lushest places in Zanzibar. Getting lost, finding the monkeys in the Jozani Forest is easy, they say. A lot of nature trails leading through the forest. These monkeys are not shy. And after you visit Jozani, you can cross the street and visit the mangrove forest. The recommendation for us is that we get here before 9 a.m. because then busloads of tour groups arrive after that and start bombarding the monkeys, which is not fair. We don't want to bombard them. We just want to hang out and watch them do their thing. The next place on the list is the Seaweed Center. You might think, what am I going to go looking at seaweed? Yeah, we're looking at seaweed. A visit to the Seaweed Center is considered a must. The Seaweed Center is a woman's initiative that employs local women to make products from the abundance of seaweed around the island. You can take a full tour to see the daily tasks of seaweed farmers. You can relax at the shop. They'll give you a glass of seaweed fruit juice. Who's drinking the seaweed juice? Anybody? Go into the chat. Are you drinking the seaweed juice? Who's having a cup? Probably pretty healthy. Monkey bombardment, says Heather. Yeah, we're going to Zanzibar. That's right, Myra. Love the concept. I do too, Ricky. Great. I'll take a glass of seaweed juice. Sure. Why not? Try anything once, kind of. I say that now. Kind of. Our next stop is going to be the House of Wonders. That's an interesting name. House of Wonders. It's an old stone village, and it is said to be incredible. The House of Wonders. The folks say that visiting this stone town is essential. The House of Wonders, also called the Palace of Wonders, is the tallest building in Stone Town. It is a main point of interest in Zanzibar, right next to the old fort, and it is really a sight to see. It's the spot for the first elevator in all of East Africa. You can learn here about the history of Stone Town. You can view the old rooms and all the old exhibits. This name, the Stone Palace, comes from the modern amenities that were the first in Stone Town, first to have plumbing and electricity. But yeah, it's supposed to be a really cool thing to go see. How about we also go to Pahe Beach? This is a backpacker spot on Zanzibar with hip cafes, burger joints, kite surfing companies, bars, and hostels, and it makes it a really cool place to visit while you are in Zanzibar. There's so much to see. And again, this is called, it's Paje. So I pronounce it Pahe, but it could be Paje. I'm not sure in their language what the J pronunciation is. Pahe Beach, Paje Beach. How beautiful. Look at all the activity on that beach. Looks really fun. They say a few days relaxing in the turquoise waters is perfect for people looking for free things to do in Zanzibar. Just put yourself on the beach with a book and a big water bottle or whatever it is you're drinking. Read your book. Look at all the activity. Every few minutes, head pops up. You can see all the people doing their things. Dip your feet in the water, come back, sit on the towel. They say if you're looking to have an active holiday, not just sit on the towel like me, I'll be on the towel. Zanzibar, kite surfing is the most popular thing to do in Pahe. There are endless schools, kite surfing schools, rental shops that are meant to take you on the water and show you how to kite surf. They say if you're not a beginner in this, there's the right amount of wind to spend the entire holiday improving your kite surfing skills. It is considered one of the best places in the world to go kite surfing. And when you see the gorgeous water and you feel the breeze, it's totally understandable as to why. Well, we already went on the seaweed tour. Next up is the spice tour because this area was really critical to spice trade. And so you can go check out what they're doing. Zanzibar is also often referred to as Spice Island. For centuries, they have crafted, grown, made clove, nutmeg, vanilla, cinnamon. One of the top 5 things to do in Zanzibar is to check out a spice tour. They leave from Stone Town. They take you to a large spice farm, so where you can see and touch and taste all the flavors of Zanzibar. Got to take your walking shoes for this one. You can get really kind of entrenched in mud, so don't take your favorite shoes. And if you bring some money, you can buy some spices and tea to take home with you. There's a full tasting at the end of the spice tour, so that could be pretty fun. And when we're done with the spice tour, we're going to head over to the Butterfly Center to check out the butterfly tour on Zanzibar. I know, I have a full itinerary for you here. That's the way it is. You got to keep up. The Zanzibar Butterfly Center is actually near the Jozani Forest back by the monkeys. They say if you're already in the area, it's really a great interactive environment for both adults and children, doesn't matter. They've got 40 local farmers from the nearby village, and butterfly farming is done here. The farming, they say, provides a stable income for these farmers while giving back to the environment. And if we head to the Butterfly Center, they let the butterflies flutter all around us, and you have an educational visit and you learn about conservation. It's a 30-minute guided tour around the property, and the admission fees directly support the training of the farmers in this area. In the evening, we're going to go on a blue cruise. Little evening cocktail cruise, perhaps? I don't know. But we are going on the blue cruise. We're going to go check that out. The Safari Blue Cruise. Here's what it looks like. I'm thinking this boat is okay. It looks a little raggedy around the edges. I don't know. A little rusty, maybe. Maybe we have to take more than one boat. We don't want to overload that stressed boat. We're going. It's a Sailing Dow, DHOW. They have this boat, or this boat company. It's called the Colors of Zanzibar. You can go out for a fun day at sea. You can go morning fishing from the town of Fumba. They also have individual tours, and you can have the whole dhow boat to yourself if you would like. You can head off to a little sandbank off the coast of Zanzibar and have beautiful views of the ocean, snorkel, enjoy the morning air. They'll feed you some fresh fruit. They have a hidden lagoon they can take you to before they'll serve you a seafood buffet lunch on Kwale Island. You can see massive baobab trees, some small shops, a beach paradise. Pretty fun. They say the Safari Blue Cruises area, though, has become so commercial that there was a reef in this area that's totally ruined. So it's a bit of a bummer when they point that out in this area. There is another little island called Prison Island, and it is another great place of interest right off the coast of Zanzibar. It is a place where you can see a lot of wildlife. Here's a picture, because on Prison Island, the picture offered was of 2 turtles. There they are. The boat ride is very close to Stone Town. You get to Prison Island, also called Canggu Island. Built in the late 1800s, the prison on this island served for slaves, violent prisoners, and quarantines as well. But one of the main reasons to go here now is because there's a tortoise sanctuary with giant Aldebras tortoises. So they say bring sunblock, especially for the boat transfers and for snorkeling. Check out the turtles. Since we're snorkeling, why don't we snorkel Manemba Island? It sounds great snorkeling Menemba. And would you look at this water? I bet you can see all the way down. Look how clear that is. So beautiful. So if you haven't seen enough marine life, you're going to see some beautiful things with this snorkel tour around Menemba Island. It is a small island very close to Unguja, Unguja, Unguja. Really small island, 500 meters in diameter, beautiful to walk on and enjoy the turquoise blue water. If you're dive certified, you can book a tour that way as well. But look how clear and gorgeous that water is. What a wonderful place to go snorkeling. And then for dinner, maybe let's go to the Tea House. It's supposed to be one of the best restaurants in Zanzibar. And it is beautiful. You kind of get a taste and a flair for the culture in this one. This is, again, the Tea House restaurant. They say it's having dinner here is a must do if you're going to Zanzibar. That anyone wanting a night out in Stone Town should visit the Tea House restaurant. It's at the top of a boutique hotel in the middle of the Casbah, one of the best views of Stone Town. There's all kinds of wonderful things to eat here, but you have to make a reservation beforehand. They have spicy cocktails. They have live Zanzibari music, delicious Persian-inspired cuisine. Wonderful. This, I thought, was another one of those things to go see that you probably will never see anywhere else. And it's called The Rock. Swimming at The Rock is also on the list of one of the most desirable things to do in Zanzibar. It is mentioned in pretty much every guide. It's a restaurant located on the southeast part of the island. That's called the Rock Restaurant, visiting the Rock. If you visit during high tide, you've got to take a free boat taxi to deliver you to the Rock, unless you feel like swimming out there. Otherwise, when it is low tide, then you can take a taxi out to it. It's an iconic spot, and the prices are super high. This is our expensive meal out. We only get one expensive fancy meal. It's Indian. It's in the Indian Ocean, right in the smack in the middle there. And they say if you don't have reservations, you won't be given excellent service. So if you call ahead and book the Rock, then I guess you get treated a little better. But even if you don't eat there, you can go out and see the unique building. They say it really is one of the best things to do on Zanzibar. And the next morning, those of us that drink coffee, I like the tea, but that's all right. We'll go check out the coffee area in Zanzibar. I think I have a picture of this. Zanzibar Coffee House, said to be another really cool place to go. Here it is. Well, you can see a guy walking by the open doors. It's right next to Emerson Spice in the heart of Stone Town. They say it's one of these points of interest that you really have to see. It's a great place to sit down and watch Zanzibari life. They roast their own coffee. They serve lattes to also vegetable wraps. And they say when you walk into this Zanzibar coffee house, it feels like you're being transported back in time to the old Arabic world. That even if you don't like coffee, this place is a must visit. So then you can check out Park Hyatt Zanzibar, one of the hotels there, for not only happy hour, but also for people doing acrobats and other things at the beach at sunset, said to be really fun. Here's a picture of what it looks like to wander through old Stone Town, because you didn't really get the feel of it from the old stone palace, right? At least I don't think so. But when you're in it, in the evening, when things are lit up, look how beautiful that is. Little alcoves, places to sit, have a drink, go shopping. all kinds of fun stuff. This is what it looks like to wander the streets of Stonetown, to see the beautiful boutique shops, fabulous restaurants, venture around the Forodani Gardens and the Old Fort. There are walking tours you can take with Colors of Zanzibar to learn more about what you're seeing. And since we've decided to go shopping, I think we're going to have to stop by the Darajani Market because there's some interesting things here that you're not going to see anywhere else. It is the main bazaar in Stonetown, one of the most popular places to get spices, dates, breadfruits, almost anything that you need, even souvenirs. A fantastic place to just soak up the culture. And as mentioned, this is a place that played a role in the slave trade. So I don't think we can take a trip to Zanzibar without going to see what happened here. This place may be known for its sandy beaches and clear, beautiful blue water, but it was the Africa Great Lakes main slave trading port. As many as 50,000 slaves passed through here in the 19th century that were sold at slave markets until the late 1800s. The area of Stonetown is one of the last places to host open slave markets. And because of that, it is a must-do to go visit a former slave market site in Stonetown. If you want to learn more about it, and I think we do, we would be booking a guided slave trade tour to go see exactly what happened there. So, I mean, it's all fun and games, but we have to learn the history of the place too. And then I think our last day in Zanzibar really will be spent on the beach. There are so many great beaches to visit in Zanzibar. The water is so blue and amazing that we'll end it on a happy note. We'll get out of the city. We'll go check out the beaches. There's apparently one around every corner. Nungwi Beach, Pongwe Beach, listed as two of the best. There are a lot of resorts right on the ocean. So we have to choose a hotel with a great location. One of the best places to stay on Zanzibar is said to be the Kalindi Zanzibar. It is without a doubt the most exclusive resort in Zanzibar, one of the top hotels on the beach, large grounds, 15 villas that pop up out of a hillside. But the Park Hyatt Zanzibar, the Esque Zalu Zanzibar, also great beach resorts. And so there it is. Now we know a little bit more about what's going on in Zanzibar. And that is Travel Tuesday on the After Party. All right. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out on a Travel Tuesday. I hope you had as much fun as I did learning about a new place. I know for those of you who listen on the podcast, this Travel Tuesday segment and the waterfall segment and the cave segment really aren't as good because you're not getting the pictures that go along with the stories. And that really does tell the story. I try to describe it, but sometimes I think you need to go back to the YouTube show and check out the pictures for yourself, even if it's just for a couple of minutes to see the photos. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it very, very much. Looking at the chat. A lot of people talking about medical marijuana, turmeric, which, by the way, is in the tea, the Coachella Valley tea, turmeric chai tea. A lot of people talking about medicine and what medical marijuana does. The restaurant at the end of the universe, The Rock. Yeah. I didn't see if anyone said they'd been here before to Zanzibar. Where is Zanzibar? It is near Tanzania. It's a chain of islands in this area. All right. All right, everybody. Have the very best rest of your day. Tomorrow on the Mark Thompson Show, it'll be interesting. We'll see if we have any guests that we can line up, but it'll be just Mark and I. So if there's technical problems, it'll be my fault. Just blame me. I blame Kim. That'll be the way that goes tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you right back here on YouTube tomorrow, 11 a.m. on the Mark Thompson Show. But for now, bye, everybody.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.